who's got two thumbs and didn't get to see a screening of Avatar 3 early because busyness and expenses and just a long-ass year? Check those Patreon and Ko-fi links because, good lord, we need them. This guy right here, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I thought Avatar 3, The Fire and Ash, pretty good. Is there even really a point to reviewing the Avatar sequels at this point? I don't mean like doing deep dive franchise, hey, let's look at these characters and stuff. I mean as in, are people going to Avatar reviews and asking critics if they're good or worth seeing or not? Because these are each 3-hour movies that are all about experience, visual majesty. You gotta pay those big 3D IMAX prices pretty much to see them. Whether you love them or you're indifferent to them, it's all about the theatrical experience. Make a plan, see it. Everyone talks in between them about whether or not they have any cultural impact. It kind of feels like they do, but like it's a very normal people cultural impact. You know, everyone seemingly goes to see these. They each make about $2 billion every time they come out. But then, you know, they don't have that long-term internet obsession, everyone constantly talking about it to the point that you're sick of it impact, which people seem to take as, oh, it didn't have an impact. No, it seems like it has an impact, but one where it's allowed to hang in the culture and just exist. Maybe that's better? I don't know. My point being, is anyone really asking their favorite critic? I don't necessarily think that's me. If it is, thank you for visiting the channel. But is anyone going and asking, okay, I saw Avatar 1 and 2, I'm on the fence about whether or not I should see 3. I feel like if you already watched Avatar 1 and 2, you're probably going to see 3 at one point. If you didn't see 1 and 2, you are not going to go see this one. And if you haven't cared up to this point, it would be a weird time to start. I guess it's easy enough because they're both on Disney Plus, Hulu, whatever. Regardless, yeah, I thought this was pretty good. I think the other two are pretty good. Narratively, experientially, they all hit the mark of pretty good. And then the visuals and the audio and the sound are holy shit next level because nobody does this shit like James Cameron. Like, this is the very definition of the pretty good water level blockbuster storytelling. And then you hit those visuals and the CGI integration and the motion capture and the level of action blocking, storyboarding, and you realize, wow, this is what AAA plus best of the best direction actually looks like in these, because you line this up next to anything else in this vein that's out there, and there's just no comparison. It's steak versus Hamburg. It's the same surface level action figure bullshit that everything else does at this level of storytelling, but the look and the vibe and the feel just serves to make you appreciate how much better the people making these are than everyone else doing this stuff. It really is fucking remarkable how good every bit of this looks. The creatures look better than everyone else's creature. The gunfights look better than everyone else's gunfights. Just the simple, basic, wow, here's two CGI people fighting in a place, just having a regular ass fist and knife fight. And it is so much better, so much more tactile, so much more, wow, holy shit, this is a real fucking movie than everyone else's movie. That alone makes it worth seeing. But if you're not already bought in on this, do you need me to tell you that? Because that's basically the same review that you can give to the other one. The CGI is still the best version of this kind of CGI that you're gonna see in anything. The 3D actually makes the 3D worthwhile. I'm all on board. Yeah, fly those birds, save those whales, go talk to Awa and shit. Like, I'm bought in. And I shouldn't be this bought in on stuff that's so basic and goofy, but man, he really makes you buy in to this blue alien cat lizard shit. It's wild. Anyway, story-wise, if you're actually invested in that, we're still mostly with the water people from part 2 because James Cameron likes water stuff. There's still the ongoing plot thread of whether or not Sigourney Weaver's teenage clone character is Navi Jesus. You know, in case you thought that they weren't going to go there, yeah, she's basically Navi Jesus is the idea, and they're going to try and pay that storyline off. There's a new plot thread that the human kid, Spider, is maybe now the key to humans fully colonizing Pandora if he can acclimate to the environment and such, so now the bad guys have even more reasons to be hunting him down than they already did. And there's new bad guys. These are the Fire Navi, or the Ash people, and they're the bad guys. These guys are the fun fun part of the more fun part of what's already a pretty fun movie, because it's actually kind of fun to see a franchise that has, for the most part, sort of defined itself by trying to be this somewhat problematic Dances with Wolves Gone Native story, but be respectful about it and take some of the problematic edge off of that by doing it in space with motion capture and aliens, decide that it's earned exactly enough good boy points to go and cut loose and be old school and, okay, here's where we're putting all of the problematic stuff, because whereas the Na'vi that we've seen previously are very colors of the wind, these are the good guys, they've got the earth magic powers and they're better than the humans and these are the ones we should aspire to. The Ash people Na'vi are the old school jungle savage orcs with beads bad guy natives from like old John Ford westerns and H. Rider Haggard novels. Really feels like Cameron said, okay, I'm saving all the problematic tropes and putting them all into these guys. And they're fun bad guys, but it's right on the edge of, oh wow, these are the ones people are going to have a problem with. Especially the new female villain who teams up with Navi Quaritch. I'm really trying hard to remember everybody's names here, guys. She's a great bad guy, and there's a whole extended montage of Navi bad guys and the human bad guys teaming up and trading around with guns that is probably the gnarliest. Okay, wow, this is gonna raise some discourse stuff that's also probably the horniest that Cameron has been in a movie since at least True Lies. Like, you can really always tell when a director, writer is really way the fuck into his female villain, and holy shit. And this movie's extended How I Pulled the Baddest Chick with My Special Interest montage is going to be like a life-defining scene. For a very particular sort of bro, seeing this movie is going to see like the aspirational version of his life in this part of the movie. All of the actors, to varying degrees, seem to really, really relish getting to play these exaggerated CGI, upscaled character versions of themselves through the motion capture. But Stephen Lang as Navi Quaritch really, really seems to be just making an absolute meal of this movie. He is having a fucking ball doing basically a meaner, nastier, darker, hornier version of Jake's arc from the first movie. Just going full Man Called Horse vibes with this and not having to sand all of the problematic edges off of it like they did for Jake. And the thing is, just like the last one, which this does feel, it really much more than Part 2, which felt at least pretty different from Part 1. This does end up feeling a lot like Part 2 again, but with more interesting bad guy stuff. All of these feel at least a half hour longer than they should be, but the reason that they're so long is because it is still telling basically a pretty solid, normal, not all that complicated story. But all of the scenes go on longer, for lack of a better word, directorial indulgence than they should. Like, there's really no reason that the swimming with the whales and flying around on the birds, and here's how the special airships work, and here is exactly how all of the weapons work, and here is Quaritch going to introduce guns to his new evil girlfriend, and he's going to show her how all the guns work, and wow, boy, she is really horny for guns, it turns out. There's no version of the, like, those scenes would all be like one or two quick montage shots in the normal 90 to 120 minute version of this movie, but here, scenes like that go on for a full 10 minutes of actors just grooving out in motion capture, and eventually you just kind of go with it. So, in spite of myself, I always end up having a good time at these movies. Even though this is James Cameron at his most self-indulgent, he really knows his technical shit, and he has assembled a cast that is really going for it. Everyone is really game for this. And even though there were at points where I was just kind of sitting back going, yeah, okay, this is going on too long, but I'm not having a bad time. These are good gunfights. These are good chase scenes. These are good just actors sitting around vibing out around a campfire. There's a lot more vibing out around a campfire and a lot more like weird psychic tail fighting in this one than in the other ones. But it all basically works. And even though there's still, I think, at least one more of these to go, it doesn't leave you off feeling like, oh, I didn't get all of the movie that I wanted. This leaves you off with a full, complete story in and of itself. Movies that don't plan to continue don't necessarily do that anymore. So yeah, in spite of myself, I'm going to call this an 8 out of 10. I had a real good time. Check it out.